Happy Wednesday, happy vlog day, happy if your kid's off teacher training day, and National Menopause Day as well. Who thought this would be a thing? And the reason it's a thing, and it's probably been going for a couple of years, is because people are talking about it. Talk about it. Some people might be a bit peed off, and the people that are peed off probably haven't researched themselves and just have a perception about menopause, or have no idea and will continue to suffer and don't look after themselves, which is where I get a bit annoyed about it, because people will have a perception about menopause and just go, well, I sailed through it, so it's fine, so my daughters will. Don't work like that. All I say is menopause needs definitely to be made more aware within the workplace, within everyday life. Even as a husband or partner or children, you understand what your other half's going through, and just read about it. My husband read about it just so you can have an understanding as to why some days I might feel I want to kill him. I don't. I love him lots. But why some days that the temperatures of the anger may be raised. And that's just one thing. But I am a massive and huge advocate of HRT, because you are replacing what is gone, zero, dropped, not there anymore. Was for many years, now gone. And the benefits of me taking HRT are huge. So all I say to people is talk about it, don't not talk about it, talk to your partner about it, research yourself, do not suffer, because it's really not worth it. You've got to get through life, and as women, we're probably busier now than ever before, our generation. A bit like, I always see myself as a bit of a sandwich generation. A woman in her 40s, working full time, have children probably a bit younger, and then have parents getting older, and you have to manage all of that, and you're the bread outside holding it all together, and you can't do that if you don't look after yourself, and just you put yourself to the bottom of the pile, when actually, if you can't look after yourself, you can't look after everybody else. So make sure, I say, if you think you're coming into menopause, and don't think you're too young, anything from 40 plus is possible, even anything under 30s. Look and research all the 45 symptoms. Look at Dr. Louise Newson, and I've mentioned her time and time again. Get the Balance app, check yourself, see what's happening, check each month, check each day, and then you'll start to build a pattern of possible changes that you're going through. 45 plus, it's either going to whack you in the face, or you're going to be lucky enough to ride the wave, but just do not ignore yourself. So happy Menopause Day. And fellas, no one talks to you about it, so it's up to you to do that research to see what your partner is going through, so you can manage it yourself, because there's a lot going on. Anyway, been lots of oil protests again today. The lovely, and I do quite like it, Greta Thunberg, a kid on a mission to try and change the world, and she's up against everything, isn't she? But she's been detained this morning because she was protesting as part of the oil protests. And you know what? I'm sitting on the fence about it a little bit because no one's listening, and they keep doing more and more things that will disturb or interrupt or ruin potential buildings. Like somebody was asking why were they doing targeting sort of the universities, because they want the universities to be on board with them and start also protesting and say, yeah, actually we need to look at this seriously. So that's why they're targeting the things that they are. So it keeps happening, and watch the programme with Chris Packham on, and he's obviously an environmentalist and a campaigner for lots of things, and lots of to do with our environment, oil being one of them. And I quite liked where he was going with it, and he was asking, do I now have to do something illegal and be arrested in order to make a stance, in order to make a point? And he'd considered it as a possibility, whether that's still something he's considering. And if that was, a lot of people would probably be outraged and he'd be put in, but it'd go quiet after a while. He'd make a point, he'd make a stand. But just imagine if David Attenborough did that at 96 and did something that was, you know, to make a point and got arrested. The world would be in uproar. Would they listen if a 96-year-old who's been trying to campaign for us to look after our planet was arrested? Just a thought for you, David. I know you're 96, but the world would listen if you were arrested because you were protesting. Yeah, just a thought. Moving on to local things. Lotherton Hall, they've been releasing lots of things coming up to their Halloween events. They've got 2 events. One, I think, 5 to 8 year olds, and then 8 to 15. Yes. So they've got 2 events, obviously, as you're a bit older, they're a little bit more scarier. So they've got 2 events. Look at their Lotherton Hall Facebook page. They've released quite a funny video this morning about their skeleton side of things, which is to do with the older group of people. Excuse my voice. It's lots of germs going around, lots of people with lurgy. Lots of lurgy going around, and not necessarily COVID and not the new strain of COVID, but lots of lurgy going around, lots of coughs and sneezes and colds. It's that time of year, isn't it? Not that the weather really dictates what's going on, but it's just that time of year when all the germs are flying about. So I woke up this morning, felt like an elephant was on my chest. Hey ho. It's just one of them things, isn't it? Big news this week that was released by the Garforth District Lines, that Garforth bonfire, which was due to be, and we had mentioned it, to the event was due to be on the Friday the 3rd of November, and they've had to cancel it. Now, there is a very, very long, perhaps long-winded reason on a statement that they've put on their page at Garforth and District Lines Group as to why they've had to cancel this, but reading between the lines, it's just a security point of view. They can't keep people safe. It does feel like they're pointing as if they're not getting enough help as what they should be. I don't know. You read it and make your own mind up from the statement, but it's not going ahead, sadly, because it's such a great event. And it does bring quite a lot of money to the lines for them to enable them to do other things within the community. So it's a real shame it's not going ahead, and I think people will miss it. I think they could still do the fireworks, just not say where. Use the money they have. Perhaps, I know, I'm thinking just off the top of my head here, use the money, just have a secret location so the rest of Garforth could see the fireworks but not attend because they don't know where the location is. But then how would they make money unless you could donate? They could make a thing of it, but probably too late now. Just a thought. You could get people to donate online with the secret side of where they're going to do the fireworks. So it still sort of happens, but in a sort of secrety way. And then the rest of Garforth, they look up at the sky because you can see them wherever you are and watch the fireworks. But there'd be someone who complained, so perhaps not. But it's a shame that it's not going ahead because, as I said, it's a really good community event that happens. So it's clearly a safety measure. They can't keep people safe. And obviously we've got some arseholes that we've had over the couple of years. And they are in the minority, but they have caused problem, antisocial behaviour, arseholes. So they have to keep people safe, and it's unfortunately the few that always let the majority of things not happen. And there's lots and lots. I think there's 6 other firework displays not going ahead this year, and it's probably cost funds and similar reasons about just divs. Annoying. Tomorrow there is a We Buy Vintage company I noticed coming to the welfare hall from 9 till 3 o'clock. We Buy Vintage, it's Antiques and Collectibles Roadshow at the Miners Welfare Hall. Visit our Garforth Roadshow and enjoy a free slice of cake, a hot drink, whilst your items are carefully appraised by our array of experts. So it's a bit like the Antiques Roadshow locally. Never seen it before, but I noticed there's lots of signs up. So if you've got an antique, it might be worth tomorrow going into the welfare hall between 9 and 3 and saying, how much is this? And don't be disappointed, have your game face on when they go, it's worth £1. We had a festival meeting yesterday at CLO, and it was great. It's always good to get together and go through things for 2024. And it does start early, because first we have to look at the finances as to what money came in, what was donated, what the stores brought in, and we always have a shortfall. Every year we have a shortfall, and then we have to go and find that funding to be able to put it on. And it's not a huge amount of money that makes the festival. We do lots of things to try and make that money pot, as big as it can be, in order that we can do more, offer more, get more music. And it's always difficult. So if you've got £1,000, make our day. Bring it this way. You could even be the branded sponsorship of festival, or the music stand, or the music section, if we can get like our little lorries put the music on. If you want to be that company that and we do have an open collective which we're going to push at the start of next year, so people can just donate and help us along, so that we can pull the festival off every year. There is 5 of us that run it, and it's all volunteers. It's a non-profit thing. It's purely we get the money, we put it on, and that's how it works. So if you've got a grand and you want to sponsor it, be my guest, just contact me and I can put you in touch with our festival team and we can get it going from there to grand. It's £1,000. If you're a company and think, actually, I could sponsor that for £1,000 and have my logo and everything on it saying that we're sponsoring it. Just a thought. Have a beautiful day. The sun is shining and it's nice because all the leaves are going brown and turning orange and